All right. Good morning, you guys. As people kind of start to filter in, we just want to go ahead and get started so we can respect y'all's time. So thank you so much for being here today for this pre-health session of our Baylor premiere. We're really excited to get to host you guys today and just get to teach y'all some more information about what pre-health is. So I have the honor of introducing Jessie Jennings and Michelle Savoie. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to them. And throughout this presentation, if y'all have any questions, feel free to throw it in the Q&A chat, and we will be looking at those as we go.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Savoie. I'm the program manager in the Office of Pre-Health Studies. I oversee the advising in our office and a couple of the different programs we do. But today we are very fortunate to be to have our ambassador, Jessie Jennings, here to tell you about the pre-health programs at Baylor. And I'm going to turn it over to her, but I'll be answering questions as fast as I can in the Q&A if you have any. So please feel free to type those in, and then we'll try to take some extras at the end as well. So Jessie, take it away.
Hi, you guys. Like Miss Savoie said, my name is Jessie Jennings, and I'm a senior pre-health ambassador. I've been majoring in health science studies with a church music minor, and I'm on the pre-physical therapy track, but I will try to give you a really good understanding of pre-health office in full. And if you have questions, like Miss Savoie said, please just drop them in the chat and we'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. So at this time, I'm going to share my screen with you and go ahead and get started. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Yay, okay. So here we go. Oh, that's the end of it. Let me fix that real quick. Wow, technical difficulties, okay. When that goes away, I'll fix it. There we go. Oh, no, it didn't work. Okay, we're gonna go with this. So welcome to Premiere 2021. So the Office of Pre-Health Studies, this is kind of our mission statement here. And the primary objective of Baylor's Pre-Health Office is to prepare students for dynamic careers in healthcare, in which they serve out Baylor's mission of worldwide leadership and service through competent delivery of care, compassionate care and research. So the way I kind of like to see this is the fact that Baylor Pre-Health Studies is devoted to creating holistic students who are not just competent within the classroom, but then they can go out and actually serve the community in real and tangible ways. So how we do that is the pre-health office sponsors pre-professional programs. So here you'll see pre-med, pre-dent. Over here on number 7 is pre-physical therapy. That's the one I'm doing. And so we'll continue to kind of dive in and see what this means. So pre-health studies is not a major. When you come to Baylor, you'll pick a major, and it can be anything. It could be math, biology, chemistry, could even be art or dancing. Just know that pre-health studies itself is not a major. Sometimes people get a little confused. So health science studies is a major. Pre-health studies just isn't. And what that means is you'll pick a major, and then you'll pick a pre-professional program sponsored by the office that kind of gives you a track to follow, and that will get you ready for medical school or dental school. And so that's why my major is health science studies on the pre-physical therapy track. So just want to kind of clarify those two differences. And I really want to share this whole thing with you guys, or make this prettier, but I can't figure out how to get this bar to move. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is kind of what the pre-medical track looks like, as well as pre-dental and optometry, podiatry. So what this looks like is 4 semesters of biology, 5 semesters of chemistry, 2 semesters of physics, calculus, statistics, and psychology. And the reason that I like to run over this is because you'll see that this track is one of our most rigorous tracks when it comes to the course load that you'll be taking. And that's just helpful to know because you would have a lot of flexibility to move around within the tracks if you started with a more rigorous one. So if you have kind of an idea that you might want to do pre-med, but you're also considering pre-occupational therapy, I suggest starting with pre-med and kind of taking care of some of this more rigorous course load, and then switching to occupational therapy later on if that's the decision that you come to. So this is pharmacy. As you can see, it's still rigorous and a great course or great track to take. But you can see that the semesters of biology, there's a few less, and same with chemistry. And then there's some more OChem. So you can access all of this through our website, and that way you can kind of take a closer look at it. But I'll just kind of go through a few of the things that kind of distinguish them from others. So physical therapy, you're going to be taking a little more psychology, same with occupational therapy. You don't have to take as much calculus. Well, I should say you have to take pre-cal instead of calculus. There are less biologies and chemistries, but you will have to take human anatomy and physiology. And then physician's assistant has become really popular in the past few years. It's very similar to being a medical doctor, which I think is why a lot of people are really attracted to it, but you don't have MD beside your name, and you won't be in the same exact settings. However, it is very attractive because you do a little less schooling. And so physician's assistant within undergrad means you'll be taking a few less biologies and chemistries, same organic chemistry, and then you have pre-calculus instead of calculus. And then occupational therapy, this one is a little less rigorous, course load wise. So like I said, and this is actually from personal experience, maybe start with more of a rigorous course load if you think that that's something that you want to do later on down the road. So that way it's easier to get all those classes in, and you're not scrambling within your junior and senior year to kind of fill in those things that you might have missed out on freshman and sophomore year. And if you have more questions about that, we can discuss it more in detail. So the Baylor University Advantage. What I love so much about Baylor is the fact that we have such great faculty support here. And so I think it's really evident in the way that teachers become really close with their students and develop meaningful relationships. So as you can see in this picture, this is Dr. Sanker here on the right. And Dr. Sanker is really prevalent within the health science studies, well, the pre-health office. I mean, he is the director, but he also has a great appearance with the student body. And he was one of my professors and even invited us over to have s'mores with his family. And so those are kind of the real relationships that you build here at Baylor. And that's something that I have just loved. Additionally, we have a vibrant pre-health student community. So in a few slides, you'll see some of our student organizations, and the pre-health student community is just very, very big on Baylor's campus. And so you're not going to be, looking for friends and wondering where you can find them, because the pre-health student community is vibrant. And so additionally, if you are interested in research, Baylor is a great school to take advantage of when it comes to research opportunities. Professors love to take students under their wings when it comes to a student being passionate about what they're working in and what they're researching. So if you come to discover that one of your professors is researching something that you're really interested in, you can go talk to that professor and possibly work with them within a research lab. And so then we have professional internships and coursework. So some majors actually have internships built in that you'll be required to do, which is a really exciting opportunity before you kind of enter the real world. And additionally, you're going to find a lot of those through student organizations, and that's where those kinds of things really become aware, or you become aware of the opportunities surrounding you in the community. And then finally, Science and Health Living Learning Center is the dorm specifically meant for pre-health students that you have an opportunity to live in if you're interested. And we'll talk about that in a few slides. So special pre-health coursework. PHP 1105 here is called Foundations of Medicine. And if you decide to do the pre-med track, this will be a required class for you. And this is just a great opportunity for you to kind of get to know the process of becoming a medical professional, and a doctor. And you'll just kind of see what 4 years looks like within this program. That's going to give you a really good overview and understanding of what kind of you're getting into your freshman year. So that's a foundational class that you'll be taking. These other ones are definitely optional, but very great if you're not if you're maybe not sure exactly what you want to do. You could go into PHP 1206 and learn more about just the pre-health world. You could also do a medical research class, and that's a foundational kind of entry-level medical research class to kind of get your toes in the water there. And then that would be followed up with a medical research internship. So those are some of the special courses that you have the opportunity to be involved in. Okay, so pre-health special programs. I really apologize for my technical inabilities here. If you are seeing, you're not being able to see that title, just please excuse that. I promise it says programs. But as you can see here, there are a lot of special programs that you can be involved in when coming to Baylor. And I don't want you to get worried when you see this list and think, oh my goodness, I have to write down every single one of these things and make sure that I'm researching it right away. If there's one that kind of, sparks your attention, absolutely, you can write that down. But these are going to become familiar to you as you're at Baylor and as you get involved in student community and organizations, you'll be hearing more about these programs. Two that I really like to highlight, however, are the Pre-Health Symposium, which you'll see there at the bottom. This is when medical schools, dental schools, and other various pre-health graduate programs will come to the BSB and set up booths and tables to kind of make themselves known. And then Baylor students get to come and kind of take advantage of this day and get to meet a bunch of different schools and representatives from those schools. It's a great way to network and get your face out there. And I've heard a lot of success stories from students who have gone to the Pre-Health Symposium. And then finally, the Pre-Health Committee for Evaluations and Letters. This is a very special program that Baylor does for their pre-medical students and pre-dental students. And it is basically going to help you have a very good opportunity to get into medical school and dental school in the application process. So you won't be going through the application process alone. However, there's a pre-health committee there to help you and really support you and back you as you apply to various medical schools and dental programs. Like I mentioned before, the Health and Science and Health Living Learning Center is available to you. Medical mission trips are very popular at Baylor. Of course, that has been stalled in the past years, but we're hoping to get those started back here again soon. A lot of those will take place through student organizations. Additionally, we have MCAT and DAT test prep workshops and courses, which is going to be extremely helpful during roughly your junior year of college to kind of help prepare you to take those rigorous tests and put your best foot forward for post undergraduate schools. So as I mentioned before, you will kind of hear more about these internships and research programs as you're here. And if you have specific questions about them, we can address those as well. So the Baylor College of Medicine has allowed us as Baylor students to sorry, excuse me, I'm getting mixed up over my words, take part of being in a 2-week course at the Medical Center in Houston. So this is the National School of Tropical Medicine. And if that's something that you just think you might be really interested in, then you can go work and kind of take this 2-week course at the Medical Center. And then that would be followed up with a 10-week summer research internship if you really, really do love it during the 2 weeks that you're there. So this is going to allow us to have exposure to a spectrum of disciplines and studies in global health, as well as interactions with leaders in the field of tropical medicine. Pre-med in Dublin is another opportunity that we have as Baylor students, and typically this will occur within the sophomore year and specifically the spring semester of sophomore year. And in years past, it's been really tricky for pre-health students to do study abroad because we do have really rigorous course loads. However, pre-med in Dublin provides relevant, exciting coursework. So you're not going to be getting behind in the classes that you need. They provide organic chemistry, human physiology, as well as a research internship. And by participating in this, you're going to be with engaging faculty and classmates, as well as taking healthcare related field trips. So to touch a little bit on student organizations and just our vibrant student community, I wanted to share kind of just the benefits of getting involved in a student organization. And so what you get to benefit from this is exposure to health professions of interest. Say you are just very interested in becoming a physical therapist, then you can get involved in our student organization, SPOTA, and you'll hear from physical therapists as guest speakers, and that is for a wide range of professions. So as well as that, you would also be getting community engagement and fellowship. And the way I like to see this is that not only are your peers your friends right now, but eventually your peers may become your colleagues. So I think it's really important to have that community engagement as well as networking opportunities. And then outside of just Baylor, you'll be serving in the community through your student organization. So that's a really cool opportunity. So now the next two slides will have kind of some of the student organizations that you could get involved in. A lot of students here at Baylor are involved in Alpha Epsilon Delta, and that is not specifically for pre-meds or pre-dental students, but it is for all pre-health students. And that is the Honor Society. And then you can kind of see here that we have a multicultural association, medical student association. We have the American Student Dental Association and pre-vet. So you can really kind of find anything that would fit you. And then on this one, you can also see we have a pre-pharmacy student organization, as well as occupational and physical therapy, optometry, PA, as well as something cool, kind of more holistic as medical ethics. So if that's something that you're really interested in, I really encourage you to get involved in BU Meds. So pre-health mentors is a really, really cool thing that Baylor does. We really just want to make sure that we're not investing in ourselves, but investing in those younger students than us. And so pre-health mentors is kind of peer guidance and mentorship. You'll have a junior or senior kind of upperclassman meet with you as a pre-med student or a pre-dental student. If you take part of that PHP 1105 class, you'll be required to meet with a pre-health mentor. And if you're not, then you can just meet with a pre-health mentor because you'd like to. So that's available to you. And basically they're just going to kind of talk with you and see how you're doing, kind of give you any advice that they can based on their own experiences, telling you kind of what professors worked for them, what study techniques worked for them. Additionally, they provide speakers and panels. And so this is something that you can take part in, and you don't have to be involved in PHP 1105 to take advantage of the relationships with the pre-health mentors. Okay, so I kind of zoomed through that. I just want to allow us to have a few minutes for questions. So this is our contact information. And because it was kind of such a quick overview, I want you guys to know that we are very present on our email. And so please send us email questions. And our email is listed here as prehealthambassadors@baylor.edu. And we typically get back to those within a week. So please allow us that time. And we would really like to respond to you with insightful information that is going to help you. Additionally, you can set up a meeting with us through campus admissions. And so you can do a visit here on Baylor's campus or meet with us on Zoom. We'd love to give you a more in-depth kind of view of what Baylor offers and answer any personal questions that you have. So that's a great opportunity as well if you'd like more of a one-on-one interaction. As well, please keep up with us on Instagram through pre-health, BU Pre-Health Ambassadors and @BU Pre-Health. This is kind of a great way for you to see what's going on the campus, get to know us a little bit better, and make sure that this is really a place that you could see yourself fitting in. Having said that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Savoie, and you can throw it back to me, or we can kind of answer questions together. And yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Jessie. That was wonderful to hear about the different programs that are offered, plus hear about it from a Baylor student who is currently doing all of those things. I've been trying to answer questions as fast as I can in the Q&A. One that we got a lot was about AP and dual credit. And yes, Baylor does offer credit for specific courses with AP scores, or dual credit for transfers. You would speak to your admissions counselor about the classes you've taken and what credit you can receive at Baylor. There's no just one blanket answer I can give you. It really depends on when you took the course, where you took the course, what credit you received. Classes like calculus typically are absolutely fine to do AP or dual credit. You really wouldn't need to repeat that here at Baylor, but other classes like chemistry or biology, you would need to speak to your academic advisor once you're here to decide if retaking one of the semesters would be the best option for you, or if you had such a fantastic teacher when you took it before that you really are ready to move on to an upper level science. In my experience, most students coming straight out of high school are not ready to move up to genetics or to organic chemistry as a first semester freshman. So it really is very individual. It depends where you went. It depends how well prepared you are. And that's something you would talk to your advisor about at orientation, and they would make sure you got into the correct class. Somebody is asking if Jessie can go back to the list of student organizations. So we'll put that back up. Let's see. I had a couple questions about what are the requirements to enter as a pre-health student. That is on our website, baylor.edu/prehealth. Under prospective students, you can see requirements for entering as a pre-med or a pre-dent student. Those are likely to change as Baylor's admission requirements have been changing. So are the requirements to be designated as pre-med or pre-dent. So just keep an eye on the website. You can also let your admissions counselor know. They can make sure that you are correctly tagged in the application process as being interested in a pre-health program. And then once you would come to orientation and have your advising and registration for the fall of your freshman year, your academic advisor can also make sure that you're correctly designated in your desired pre-health area. So for most of our pre-health areas, you just need to say, I want to be pre-PT or I want to be pre-PA, and your advisor will make sure that you're correctly labeled as that, so that when we do run a search and send out communications, you'll be on the receiving end of those. And then I see, can we set up a one-on-one appointment with a pre-PT student? If you go through campus visits, you can set up a visit. We're doing virtual visits right now with our ambassadors. You can also email pre-health ambassadors at baylor.edu. Put in there that you want to be pre-physical therapy. And if Jessie's the one answering the email, she'll get back to you. Or if somebody else answered the email, they will forward it to Jessie, because she is our pre-PT ambassador, and you can communicate with her. And I know she loves talking to future PT students. So that's a good way to get a hold of us. We have started posting again on our Instagram accounts, also run by our ambassadors. And that's why there's more and better information than there used to be. But you can see some of the programs. We'll be introducing our ambassadors. We'll be showing you on the ambassador Instagram kind of the day in the life of a pre-health student at Baylor and the activities they do, the different specialty programs that are available. They're highlighting the B3C program over in Earl Hall. It's a joint program with the Science and Health LLC, which is Earl Hall, and the pre-health office, that have a small cohort of pre-med students who live in Earl Hall are taking biology, chemistry, chapel, and calculus together. So they highlighted the chapel class yesterday or the day before on the Instagram, which was really cool to see. So I had a question earlier too, is Baylor competitive or collaborative in the pre-health community? I believe it's collaborative. Everyone really does lift one another up and help one another, because if you have a weakness somewhere, hopefully one of your friends or classmates is really strong in that area. And when they're struggling, hopefully you're able to help them out as well. So Baylor has a very caring community, even in the pre-health, where I've been told by other people that it might have a reputation elsewhere of being more competitive. We are collaborative and caring community. And I'll have to have Kaylee jump back in at some point and tell us how much time we have.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are actually at time. So I just want to say thank y'all so much again for hopping on today. This was really helpful, I hope, for you guys. And again, if y'all have any questions, please reach out. This is their contact information. And thank you again for coming today. We really appreciate it. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you, everyone.